it's Laura Penman and this is another Laura Penman vlog. I have another question this week, and this week's question is from Sam. Sam Rickleton has the Northeast Family Fun blog, and Sam asks, how often should you change your professional headshot? This leads me on to a really interesting subject. I always recommend, Sam, that you should upgrade your professional headshot every 2 years. Now, the reason I say every 2 years is because really when you're in business, things change quite monumentally every 2 years. So that could be quite physically, you change your hair, or you change your hair color, or your face will probably have changed quite a bit in 2 years, whether you like it or not. But you will have changed things a little bit physically in 2 years. Now, in your business, things will have changed hugely in 2 years. So for you as a blogger, you would have changed purely because of the amount of output that you've had. I know you feature your family quite a lot, so the children will have changed loads. Children change rapidly over the time because of their development, but things would have changed a lot in maybe the style that you're using, or you would have adapted what you're doing in line with what we have in the current marketplace in terms of how we're sharing content, or what's going on in the Northeast, for example. Things change over 2 years. I think that's quite an important timeline. But looking in other industries, so if you were using a professional headshot for just getting work, if you're an employee, in terms of something like LinkedIn, for instance, you're going to need to update things probably every 2 years. Now, 2 years is one of those safe kind of guide points, just to keep things fresh and a little bit more interesting. Now, the amount of engagement you get when you update your photo on any social media platform is pretty impressive. So purely for that, that's a great little instigator. Now, the only time I advise to increase the frequency of when you update your headshot is if you're a little bit more heavily in the public eye. So if you're a professional speaker, or if you're somebody who's a performance artist, so like an actor or a singer, or I don't know, like a vlogger, somebody like that, and you need to be seen a lot more regularly, you're going to want to increase the frequency. So if you're somebody who's trying to get booked all the time, like a model, you're going to want to update your headshot quite a lot of the time because of that engagement I was mentioning. So I update my professional headshot every 6 months. So yeah, that's really easy for me to do. I set up my own shoot sometimes, or I do a deal with another professional photographer where I shoot theirs, they shoot mine. That usually is how I do it. But if you are in that field, I wrote an interesting blog about this. Here's the link to that, by the way, if you want to go and take a look at that. So yeah, that's the only instance where I would say increase it. So as a rule of thumb, you want to keep it at 2 years. Otherwise, look to increase the frequency if you want to get noticed more. So I hope that helps you, and stay tuned for more questions. If you want to have a chat with me about this, you can leave some comments just below and we can have a little bit of a chat. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.